Inside the wooden cabin, warmth spread softly as steam rose from the kettle, veiling the air with gentle mist. The two sat close by the fire, quietly eating, every bite restoring their strength in that fragile shelter. Their bodies found renewal, gathering the endurance needed for the long, unforgiving journey into the wild. Snow fell in heavy silence, cloaking the world in white and blurring the horizon. They moved with careful, practiced calm, readying their firearms and stowing ammunition into battered cases. The storm's hush pressed at the windows, and inside each small ritual tightening straps, sliding packs into place. A last steadying breath felt, like a pact with the cold wild they were about to enter. They pressed into the forest's depths, where towering trunks loomed and the snow-muted silence wrapped around them. Each step cracked against frozen earth, marking their passage through a realm where shadows and white mists blurred into one endless wilderness. They climbed toward the high mountain, its slopes buried beneath a thick shroud of snow. The wind grew sharper with each step, carrying whispers of desolation, while the peak loomed above like a pale giant watching their ascent. Together they spotted it, a trace that broke the stillness of the snowbound world. In that frozen silence, the discovery bound them in sharp awareness, their breath hanging in the cold air as the wilderness revealed a fleeting sign of life. A herd of mountain goats passed, their steps carving fleeting trails into the snow. From a distance, the man's eyes locked onto the herd as they moved across the snow. Slowly, he lifted his rifle, the metal cold against his hands, and aimed through the pale silence. The weight of the moment hung heavy, each breath steadying his focus on the wild shapes ahead. A thunderous shot shattered the silence, echoing through the snowy heights. One mountain goat stumbled and fell, its dark shape staining the white expanse with sudden finality. The remaining goats scattered in panic, their hooves thundering over snow as they fled into the forest's depths. They approached the fallen goat, tying its body with firm, practiced hands. With the storm howling around them, they dragged their prize through the snowbound mountains, each step a struggle against wind and cold. They finally reached their wooden cabin, a fragile haven against the storm's fury. Snow still clung to their clothes as they pushed inside, bringing the weight of the hunt with them. The goat was lifted onto the rough wooden table, its presence filling the small room with the gravity of survival. Slowly, they set about preparing it, each careful motion echoing the ancient bond between hunger, struggle, and the reward of the wild. They set to work with patient precision, cutting into the goat's flesh, separating meat from bone in steady, practiced strokes. The cold of the mountain hunt still clung to their hands, but the fire waiting in the hearth promised warmth. Soon the pot was set above the flames, bubbling slowly as the rich aroma filled the cabin. Outside, the storm beat against the wooden walls, yet within, the promise of nourishment and victory simmered in the rising steam. They ladled the steaming meat into bowls, the rising heat chasing away the chill clinging to their bodies with each bite. The harshness of the storm faded, replaced by the deep satisfaction of a hunt fulfilled and hunger finally eased. Outside, the storm raged on, endless and merciless, erasing all shapes into a vast, white void. The mountains stood silent beneath the weight of snow, a frozen wilderness untouched by warmth. In that blizzard's fury, the world seemed to close upon itself, marking the final image of their hunt.